Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to Sequential Geek. Happy birthday to me because I rock. Hell yeah, so old. So old. Today is October 25th. It is snowing like a motherfucker all day today here in Denver, in the Denver area. Yesterday was my birthday. It's the same day as Bilbo Baggins, by the way. Thank you very much. Met up with some family for brunch. That was a good time. And then went out and did a haul. Went on 3 comic book shop hauls. Pretty much a haul crawl. Hauled to the point of crawling on my knees, going through boxes. Can't see, can hardly breathe. So did me a little haul crawl yesterday. Spent a lot of money. Spoiled the shit out of myself. Point of my haul was to check out All Seas Collectibles. They're out in Aurora, and they're at 1250 South Abilene Street in Aurora. It's a great shop. They're open every day of the week. They do close like at around 6, 5 o'clock on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. So check out All Seas Collectibles. Maybe a good place to start off at. I started off over at the Hall of Justice. Comics and Collectibles. I showed a haul from there, went over to All Seas Collectibles, and then ended up over at Cobalt Comics. They're also in Aurora, and I showed a haul from there as well. Got those stickers from Cobalt Comics. So let's get on with it. All Seas Collectibles. Treated myself to some James O'Barr. I'm picky about the quality. This is a really nice black cover. Not seeing any spine ticks in this baby, but it's great condition. And IDW's been printing a lot of Crow comics. James O'Barr hasn't been involved in doing the covers for him for a while. I think not since Skinning the Wolves, this 3-issue miniseries. So James O'Barr did 2 covers for issue number 1. So there's 3 covers for issue number 1. Then he did the B covers for issue 2 and 3. February 2013, this last issue. Got that for $4. Got this one also for $4. The Crow Pestilence ran for 4 issues. Same deal. There was just a B cover that James O'Barr did for issues 1 through 4. Fantastic Four, number 348, newsstand copy out of January 1991. That's an Arthur Adams cover. The story's by Walter Simonson. I think Art Adams started doing artwork with issue number 347. The big deal with this is the appearance of the Fantastic Four basically as Ghost Rider, Grey Hulk, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. Enough said. Star Wars Chewbacca, issue number 404. My last haul, I showed this issue. I had a huge crease over here, so it's nice to find one. And I'm gonna have to go with Very Fond Near Mint. I didn't see any errors in this one, and once again, this is just a really great, humorous issue of Chewbacca, number 4 out of April 2000. That's a Sean Phillips cover. I just find it very amusing. I just find this look like something out of Mad Magazine, whether it's intended or not. That is a $10 Star Wars Darth Maul comic book right there. Came out in September 2000. Ray Park played Darth Maul, but actually it was Peter Serafinowicz that voiced Darth Maul. First printing of Faust, issue number 1, Love of the Damned. Like I pointed out earlier, I think it was around 1989. Faust It's created by David Quinn and Tim Vigil. The first 6 issues of Faust were originally printed under the North Star label, right here. David Quinn and Tim Vigil, in 1991, moved Faust over to their label, Rebel Studios. And then Rebel Studios, from 1991 until 2012, printed the remaining 15 issues, 7 through 15, with just a single cover. So I got this one here for 20 bucks from All Seas Collectibles in Aurora. Got issue number 3. In an earlier haul, I already got issue number 2, but this one here for 5 bucks. It's issue number 4 from the first printing. Number 4 from the second printing, which is also called Volume 2. It's the same comic, but like I said, in 1991, when David Quinn and Tim Vigil took Faust under their own label, Rebel Studios, they reprinted issues 1 through 6 with a new cover. So this is issue number 4, the Rebel edition. Here's issue number 5 under the North Star label. That would be cover A, so to speak, for 5 bucks. Now here's issue number 8. I did see Act 8, Love of the Damned, that said Rebel Edition at the bottom, and it was in white letters. This one doesn't say Rebel Edition. It's Act 8, so it's after the brand Faust went over to Rebel Studios. So I'm not sure. I tried looking this up with the red font, and it doesn't say Rebel Edition. I'm not sure which printing it is, but I looked inside and I didn't see anything that said printing. So not sure. Possibly just the first print. Got that for 5 bucks. Act 8, Love of the Damned. Hall of Justice, where I started off at. Let's get a move on with that. Some Frank Millie Miller, right here. Daredevil number 173, August 1981. It's a really nice white cover, and it's a direct edition. I do have a newsstand copy of this, and I figured since it is from 1981, pretty much anything that's going to be like 1984 and earlier, if it's a direct edition, it's going to have a lower print run. I think although a direct edition is going to have a lower print run, still though, if something is newsstand and it's in very fine plus or near mint, it's still going to be more rare than a very fine near mint in direct. Can anybody contradict that? Because even though the print run might be less for direct, you know, before 1985, before 1984 for direct editions, the print run's less than newsstand. Still though, if it's direct, people are sticking those things directly into bags and boards. I know that around 1982, I saw an ad in the news. They were doing a story about a comic book shop in Livonia, classic movie comics and cards, or classic comics and collectibles, movies and collectibles, something like that. That was like in 1982. And that's when they were talking about in the news about comics booming, back issue market blowing up. So I know by then, by definitely 82, 83, people are going to be bagging and boarding their stuff on the direct market. If it's a newsstand, it's going to be in very fine near mint. Still, people are throwing those things around throughout the 80s. So I dig that early 80s, get the direct edition theory. I'm getting copies of these early 80s comics in direct and stuff I can find in the late 70s. I think before the direct edition started, you had the Whitman copies, which just had like the barcode with the slash through it. Let's move on though, because I got a little bit more Frank Miller right here. Got this for 9 bucks. $15 copy. I like it. It's a nice bright yellow. There's a little bit of dents there, but no color breaks. So I got it for 15 bucks. Nice bright yellow copy of July 1982's Daredevil. Frank Miller cover, Klaus Janssen's doing the inks, Frank Miller doing the script. A little bit of Halloween action right here. We got ourselves a Michael Jackson Thriller inspired comic book cover here. August 1984 is your cover date. Script by Mike Carlin. It's a really kick-ass Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Not sure how to pronounce this guy's name. Sometimes I say Sienkiewicz. You got the thriller night. No, you got to buy it when you see that Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Hell yeah. That is $15 I paid for this really nice near mint direct edition Dazzler 33. Now, Fantastic Four. Yeah, I've been checking out some non-burn FF. It still is kind of a burn comic, as in John Byrne did the layouts, and Joe Sinnott, the inker, who's been inking a lot of John Byrne stuff, and other artists like Bill Sienkiewicz. John Byrne did the layouts for this comic. He started doing some early FF. I'm not sure. I think around issue 214, actually. The one just before this, John Byrne did the cover. So Marv Wolfman is still writing these early issues that John Byrne was involved with. And that is a Ron Wilson cover with Joe Rubinstein doing the inks, actually. Don't you know it? Got that comic for $6, and this Fantastic Four issue number 216 I got for $8. Another direct edition. I really dig this cover. Reminds me of my old sister. She's just old, right? Look at the size of that head. Fantastic Four issue number 216. Rich Buckler did that cover pencils with Al Milgrom doing the inks, Marv Wolfman writing, and John Byrne did the layouts with Pablo Marcos doing the finished art. So now John Byrne started doing the layouts of these early Fantastic Four issues. I know that in issue number 220, it's kind of a landmark John Byrne issue because just like with issue number 214, John Byrne did the cover, Joe Sinnott did the inks, and the story layouts are by John Byrne, and Joe Sinnott did the finished art as well as the inks. But my point is it wasn't really until issue number 232 when John Byrne was doing it all except for the colors and lettering. John Byrne did do the layouts for issue number 221. But then following issue number 221, from issue number 222 up until issue number 231, Bill Sienkiewicz was involved in doing the art for the covers and the layouts. Joe Sinnott, the inker, would do the inks as well as the finished art. But those issues from like 222 up until 231, you had Bill Sienkiewicz being involved with the art, the layouts, and then issue number 232, Fantastic Four had the script, the inks, pencils by John Byrne, and relevancy returned to the Fantastic Four when John Byrne took over. And as of issue number 232, that was when he did the script, pencils and inks, everything pretty much except for the colors and the lettering. So previously to that, you had some Bill Sienkiewicz issues, and then John Byrne was doing some layouts and learning the ropes of the FF, basically, it looks like. So on order, I got issue number 230 coming. It's the second part conclusion to this two-part story. It's got the Avengers in it. It's a really cool cover with the Avengers on it. $5. That's what I paid for this issue. It's really nice bright red. There's no flaws in that spine. Hell yeah. New Mutants number 10. Got that for $5. It's a nice Bob McLeod cover. Chris Claremont did the scripts, and Sal Buscema did the interior pencils on this. This is a follow-up story of the origin of Magma, also known as Amara. Really cool cover right here by Mandrake. New Mutants issue number 15, cover date May 1984. And that was for $3. So right here, I got myself a reader copy of Faust. Third print, Act 1, Love of the Damned. Faust 1, number 1, third printing by David Quinn and Tim Vigil. Some very much adult content. Faust, he's kind of a precursor to Spawn, where he is able to come back from hell, wreak vengeance. But dark, violent, sexually graphic comic. This guy is mentally unhinged. Some people call these black and whites, indie comics, these lowbrow books, outlaw comics, as explained by cats like Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor over at Cartoonist Kayfabe. Promo work in the back there, but as you can see, some amazing work out there in indie land. And I got that for $4. Another copy of Act 4, Love of the Damned. Volume 2, Rebel Edition for $4. So in this issue, Star Wars, from the Marvel's original run, that saved Marvel's ass, basically, financially. Star Wars issue number 96. We have this character right here that originally appeared as Shira Bree, as a love interest of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars issue number 56. And then it wasn't revealed until issue number 63 that she was a spy for the Empire. And she returns as Lumia in issues number 88, and then in like 95 she comes back, 95 and 96 she's got a new look. She's got her light whip that she dons, and it's featured in this issue. Anyway, I got it. It's a nice black cover. I did pay a pretty penny for it. It is $16. Probably got ripped off on that particular issue right here. So we got ourselves here a comic about Dan Aykroyd. It's when he's older as a conehead. And I don't know about Stimpy, but I think I know where the Knights of Ren come from. It's this cat right there on the left. I'm pretty sure that is a painting of Ren. That painting is by Ken Kelly. And that story is by Jan Strnad. Good luck with that. Pencils by Anthony Wynn on the interiors there. And that is the Prelude to Rebellion story. When his homeland is offered to join the Republic, Ki Adimundi urges his council to reject the offer. And I got that direct edition copy for $8. Here we have a nice newsstand copy right here. Actually got that for $3, and it's the last part for Prelude to Rebellion. That Dan Aykroyd Conehead story right here. From Dark Horse Comics and Lucas Books. It's really great. Near mint newsstand copy. Mr. Aykroyd be proud. Han Solo, Harrison Ford. Just getting these Harrison Ford images. I mean, this is the movie that set his career. Really, when people think about Star Wars, if there's one celebrity that came out of it super duper successfully, I mean, it was really pretty much all or nothing with these guys. Harrison Ford was it. So got ourselves the B cover for Star Wars Underworld, February 2001, by Mike Kennedy, and interior pencils by Carlos Meglia. That's for $2. Sting. Of the 3 covers of this 3-issue limited series that came out in 1985, I got this Bill Sienkiewicz cover right here, Sting on it. So this is the Frank Herbert's. What is this? It's an adaptation of an adaptation. So, David Lynch adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune being adapted into a 3-issue Marvel comic book. Script by Ralph Macchio and cover and interior pencils by Bill Sienkiewicz. Pencils and inks. Got that for $1. To wrap up my Hall of Justice haul, I got this $1 science fair story of electronics. Now this comic, this is the fall 1984, spring 1985 edition. It says on the inside first printing, but I think since the 70s, Radio Shack had been printing these education-oriented promo comics. So I like anything that's like this, even if it's slightly pedagogical. I'll pick that up. $1. Some of the pedagogical comics out there can be worth overlooking. Getting the Science Fair Story of Electronics book in near mint just for $1. I just dig stuff like that. Compliments of Radio Shack. And to end it off with, stop by over at Cobalt Comics. Great service over there, just like over at All Seas Collectibles, the new shop I went to over in Aurora. But ended up the haul over at Cobalt Comics. We got ourselves here a Barry Windsor-Smith cover. This is the second part to the 3-part Storm solo adventure in Africa. Only 2 parts were printed in issue 197 and 198. The 3rd part was actually printed in a hardcover, large size format, independently by Barry Windsor-Smith. This is also written by Mr. Barry Windsor-Smith. The only thing he didn't do were the letters, which were done by Tom Orzechowski. And that's out of October 1985. I paid $6 for that. Iron Man number 181 newsstand. Paid $10. Opa. Ourselves Mr. James Rhodey on the cover right there. So that cover's by Luke McDonnell and the inks by Steve Mitchell. They also did the interiors of that story written by Denny O'Neil. That's out of April 1984. Now, the original Aliens run from Dark Horse Comics from 1988 ran for 6 issues. And this is issue number 6. Cover by Mark A. Nelson, same as the interiors as well as the inks. And the story was written by Mark Verheiden. And I got that for $4. Really great condition. Now this cover right here, Aliens Earth War, issue number 2 out of July 1990. This is originally a 4-issue limited series. And those covers are by John Bolton. It's amazing. Scripts by Mark Verheiden, and the interior pencils and inks are by Sam Keith. July 1990. It's $5. Look at these nice few gems coming up. Star Wars, Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. Direct edition, first print. That ran for 4 issues. This first issue came out, cover date May 2014. That's a Chris Scalf cover. Now, the first appearance of the Darksaber is said to be this comic. There's also a comic called Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Defenders of the Lost Temple. And that is a story that spun out of the Clone Wars computer animated television series. And that came out March 2013. And now that has been argued to be the first appearance of the Darksaber. Now within Dark Horse Comics, and I believe also Continuity, as a lot of these Dark Horse stories are being garnered by Disney. Darksaber was originally shown in Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 12, 13, and 14. And then you've got this Dark Horse story, Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. And then the Darksaber story takes off again over at Star Wars Rebels Season 3, Episode 11. Which then I believe continues over at the live-action Mandalorian show over at Disney+. That was $40. Here's issue number 2 right here. I have issue number 3 on the way. Issue number 2 was $15. A nice copy of issue number 4 out of August 2014. It's a nice comic. It's like when I was searching that last comic book shop over at Cobalt Comics, going through box after box after box on my knees, praying, please let me find one more good book. Just one more good book. I'd been saying that for 6 hours straight. The last comic of my haul. This is a reprint from the Treasury Edition out of Warner Books from 1981. The layouts for the cover are by John Romita, and that whole painting is completed by Bob Larkin. And the story inside is by Jim Shooter and Marv Wolfman. Interior pencils by John Buscema. It's a little beat up. Anybody here care to help me with the grading? I paid $10 for this comic. So I'm like, what is that, a scuff? Color loss, but the corners are sharp. Color break right there in the spine. Little dent there. Not sure what causes that. Little bump, dent right there. White pages. Check it out. Oh, we got an ad right there for an Elseworlds. Okay, so a little dent there with a little small tear. More scuffing. So are we in the fine category? If there were stains and more tears, more color breaks in the spine, if the corners were dented, yellowing pages, would that make it more good? So we're talking more, since the pages are still white, can we say just fine plus? Or would you actually call this a very fine minus with the color removal here, whatever you call this, chipping there and there? It's probably a fine. Just say a fine minus. You gotta, not sure. Somebody hook me up with some info, some feedback. I gotta get my grading down. Featuring the murderous menace of Dr. Doom and the Parasite. Word. Got some great buys on my birthday. And remember, the Sequential Hood loves you. Peace. I'll be out. Thanks for watching, y'all.